Hello, welcome to the Solid Sports Gamer channel. You're watching another edition of the Solid Sports video blog. As I come here every Saturday to give you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Troy Westhead. Thank you for watching. This is episode 216. Today's date is January 7th, 2023. So let me be the last to tell you Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Got a big show today. Big week in the NFL. We'll get to that. We'll talk about Damar Hamlin and his update on how he's doing. It was scary night in Cincinnati on Monday night. But we got some MLB news this week. The big contract that's being set up for Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. And also news came out, must have been late last night. Trevor Bauer was let go by the Los Angeles Dodgers, former Cy Young winner. Great pitcher on that staff, but the Dodgers are moving in a different direction. He was suspended for domestic violence. Missed all of this past season and some of the season before. Was going to miss some of this season as well, but the arbitrator did lift the ban, so he's eligible. So we'll see. They're going to try to trade him first. If he can't be traded, then he'll be put on waivers. So we'll see how that goes. We'll go a little bit more into detail on that. But NBA, just look at some of last night's scores, look at the current standings. I kind of threw away the up and down segment. It just wasn't working out because teams just, so it's not enough time to evaluate a team in a week sometimes. Sometimes some teams only play 2 games a week, depending on how many games you got during that week. So, but we might bring it back. It just wasn't working. It's hard to find some teams that's trended up and teams that's trended down every week, at least different teams anyway. So we'll just look at the standings, look at some stuff. Been a lot of crazy games. Donovan Mitchell 71-point game earlier this week. So LeBron James been playing well. We'll talk about all that. But let's get into the baseball news first. Let's talk about Rafael Devers' contract with the Boston Red Sox. This me is baseball. None of the contracts surprised me really, but this was sort of raised my eyebrow because Rafael Devers, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but 11-year, $331 million extension for him. I was like, I don't know, because the question is, when I tried to read, they tried to explain why they didn't pay Mookie Betts, who wound up getting this money in LA. Now Xander Bogaerts just got the big contract with the San Diego Padres. Why they didn't just keep those guys? And they was farm raised in Boston. It came from the farm system. I don't know. I've been trying to read it. Really don't give a good explanation to me. But I guess they decided to go with Bogaerts. So let's say a four-time All-Star. He was on the World Series team in 2017, 2018 when Boston won it the last time. So, but they decided to give him the money, I guess. But I don't get it. That's my question, really. Somebody can explain it to me further. Why? Oh, guys. Like I said, I worked all night. Why they didn't just keep Xander Bogaerts and Mookie Betts? I don't understand it either, but congratulations to him. He is a good player. To me, he's a good person for the Red Sox. Now, them as a team, they just, of course, since 2000, they've been the best team in baseball, winning 4 championships. But I don't know, I don't know, they weird. They had some bad years, like they was a last place team this year. Had a lot of injuries though, but it was in the AL East, like I said, is strong now with the Orioles, me being from Baltimore. They playing a lot better. They not no doormat. The Rays somehow keep winning as well. They still got the Yankees. And Toronto Blue Jays are young. It is not going away. So this division is just off the chain. But yeah, they just come out of nowhere. Like this year, it's like every other year, just like how San Francisco was doing. Like they have a down year, and then the next year just explode. So I wonder if that's a year coming up for Boston. We'll see. But yeah, it just took me by surprise. Like Devers, like I said, he's a good player. Not say he's a bum or nothing like that, but I'm surprised they chose him over. I mean, this is how I look at it. They chose him over Bogarts and Mookie Betts, which I don't understand. I think they could have kept at least one of those guys, and Devers as well. You know, Boston not afraid to spend any money, so. But they have been sort of scaling back on the big contracts lately. You know, I think the last person they really played was Chris Sale, and you see how that's going. He haven't been able to stay on the field, or he haven't been playing well. So, so we'll see what this how this turn out. But yeah, them long contracts, it's just saying weird because them football and basketball definitely don't do it. You get 5 years minimum, max. So we'll see. But it's a good contract for, because the 330 sort of make it sound like a lot, but if you break it down year by year, it's only about 30 million a year. So about 31, 32 million a year. So it's not a lot, you know, if you really think about it, compared to other baseball contracts. So congratulations to them. Just took me aback, you know. Just think they could have used their money on Xander Bogaerts or Mookie Betts. So alright, but Red Sox, like I said, they're a good organization. They'll find a way to make it work, and I think they'll be in condition next year as well, in the American League East. So we'll see. One more baseball story that's covered. Trevor Bauer, of course, I brought it up at the beginning of the blog. The Dodgers decided to move on from him. Had the very, very bad domestic violence. Been like almost 3 years ago. If you want to know the details of that, you can look that up yourself. The details are graphic and gruesome if he did do these things, but he was cleared in a court of law, you know, and I don't think he even got sued or anything. So I think he got away. Well, now I would say got away with it because I don't know if he did it allegedly, but he didn't get charged with anything. He didn't even have to. I don't think he had to pay anything either. So. Well, yeah, it was sexual assault as well. Well, it really is. So, but he allegedly sort of, you know, basically physically harmed the woman as well. But he was cleared of that. Cleared of criminal charges. Arbitrator lifted his ban. It was supposed to be for 320. It was supposed to be basically 2 seasons, and part of the season he was already in because it happened like in the middle of the season when everything came out. He did miss all of last year, and he was going to miss all of this coming year as well. But the arbitrator lifted, so he's eligible to play. I'm reading here that a deadline was coming, and they was going to have to pay him $22.5 million. So that's part of it's probably the money. So they cut him before the deadline. So basically, I'm seeing here if they're gonna try, they have to Thursday, I guess next Thursday, to trade him, try to find a trade for him, which highly likely that's not gonna happen because despite him being eligible to play, like a team not gonna trade for him and then still pay him his contract. You know, they're gonna wanna come to what they want to pay him. So I don't think the trade's going to happen either. That's basically what this article's saying. Most likely he will make it. He'll go through waivers and become a full free agent, and then teams might become interested after him after that. But it's more of a sexual assault, because I did remember that, you know, he supposedly forced himself on this woman as well. But if you want the details of that, you can look that up. But yeah, like it didn't even make it to court. But they said here 2 other women made similar allegations towards Bauer. So I believe when there's smoke, there's fire. Like something definitely going on with him. But Bauer denies everything. But like I said, the DA decided not to take this further, you know. So as far as the details, I advise you go look it up. But me, where I stand on it, basically, which it's just a lot of, you know, just like, and I don't want to make it fully racial, but just imagine if he was black, how this would be covered. This ain't really been covered that much at all. And if he's innocent, then he's innocent. But that doesn't usually matter when it comes to certain people. So I just don't like the coverage of it. So that's one thing I can throw out there. Second thing is, at the same time, if he's eligible to play, he should play. If a team give him a contract, he should play. He gonna hear from certain crowds and organizations and stuff, but I think he should. I mean, if somebody give him a contract, he should play. The arbitrator lifted the ban. Like I said, despite the allegations, he wasn't charged with anything. I think he should be able to play. But if he really did those things, it'll come out eventually, or he'll slip up and do it again. That's what I believe. Like, so don't look at it like he's getting away with anything. If he's guilty, trust me, it's something that he's used to doing, and he will do it again. Or it's something will come out and it'll be more something that will stick to him. So with that being said, like I said, I think if he gets a contract, he should play. But not surprised. Usually when but like I said, the way this article sounds, the Dodgers, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the Dodgers trying to save that money because he ain't been there, so, and they still been winning. I think they look at it that way. So it's like, we can let him go. That'll give us a little PR, a little, you know. Unfortunately, that's how I look at it. I'm not saying they don't care about domestic violence and sexual assault and stuff like that, but I think they think more this is a business. You get a little PR, you know, rah Dodgers, you know, for letting them go. And also you saving the $22.5 million on the books as well. So that's how I look at that. So not surprised if that's, you know, once I read those details. But I really think somebody will step up after he clears waivers. We'll see how long it takes. It might not be immediate, but I think somebody's gonna give him a chance. Or it might go into the season. The team might need a pitcher and wanna decide they wanna pick him up, you know. So we'll see. But I'm gonna follow this story as it goes on for see if he gets to go somewhere. But I think he's gonna make it to the waiver wire and clear that and be a free agent. So, but not surprised the Dodgers did this. Looking at the details, they save money, and you kind of look good in the media for letting them go as well. So we'll see how that story turns out. I follow it as much as I can. Alright, so that's our MLB news for the week. Like I said, some weeks we ain't gonna talk about MLB, even though I'm gonna probably start because season is not right around the corner really. Spring training starting in a month, so I'll probably start putting together some lists, top 5 outfielders, stuff like that, like I usually do for the NFL and NBA. I do it for the MLB this year. My top 5 outfielders, my top 5 starting pitchers, stuff like that. So look for that in the next coming weeks as well. Alright, so let's move on to the NBA talk. Like I said, we're not doing the up and down segment this week, but we're gonna look at some scores from last night. There's been a lot of high scoring, crazy games. As far as individuals, just last night, Zach LaVine, 11 3-pointers, had 41 points to lead the Bulls over the Sixers last night. Hornets scored 51 points in the first quarter. I saw that somewhere against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks, I don't know, they starting to hit a wall a little bit here. Now, if I was having the up and down segment, they'd probably be on my down right now. But Charlotte been playing better anyway since they got LaMelo Ball back. The Hornets been playing a lot better. Let me looking at the box score now of that game. Charlotte, Milwaukee. Oh, Giannis did play. He only played 22 minutes though. I guess the game was over after the first quarter though. 51 to 28 after the first quarter. So Terry Rozier with a big game, 39 for him. Nets Pelicans, that was probably the biggest game of the night, really. One of the biggest games of the night. Let's look at that box score. See how that went down. I think Kyrie hit a deep three to clinch the game. I think I saw that in the highlights. But let's talk about him for a second, because, you know, everybody always talking about he don't care about basketball and all that stuff, all that off the court stuff. But he's been focused since he been back. Since he went through the thing with the tweet, you know, with that crap, which I think they overblew that. But he's been playing great basketball and nobody said anything. I mean, they talk about the Nets, but him in particular turned this season around for Brooklyn. I think he should get more credit. He's one of the best players in this league. Yeah, we could talk about the stuff, the off the court stuff, but he's still a great player. He only had 19 last night. Durant had the big game last night, 33 for him. TJ Warren, 15 off the bench. Like I said, Zion's hurt. I see that. I don't see Brandon Ingram either. So Pelicans was a little short-handed, but that was a big game last night. Brooklyn wound up winning 108-102. T-Wolves, so the Clippers starting to slip a little bit. A couple of back-to-back terrible games by them. Nuggets quietly starting to get healthy, starting to look good. I told you when I did my preview, the Nuggets is a team to watch out for in the West, which could come out of there. Jamal Murray starting to look like he's back, and Jokic is Jokic. The Joker is the Joker. So they beat the Cavs last night. It was another probably interesting game. Donovan Mitchell to 71 points this week. That was crazy. The other day, LeBron playing very, very well as well. Heat starting to turn it on as well. Miami went over Phoenix. Phoenix got probably no Devin Booker, so he's pretty much the only legit scorer. So I think Phoenix is going to struggle without him, which they had been. And the Lakers another big win last night. LeBron been playing out his mind. I think he had a triple-double last night, doing things at 38. I don't know. I just thought Mike was, when the Bulls had that second three, I thought he was about that. But he probably was a little young. He probably was like 34, 35. Yeah, I know when he came back from the Wizards, he was over 38. He was almost 40. The things LeBron doing, it's just unbelievable. I seen this list on Instagram last night just for a quick story. It was Shaq. I follow a lot of people. I follow a lot of stuff on Instagram. Please don't go check my Instagram. I follow a lot of things. Women, by the way, as well. But anyway, it was some list. I forgot what it was from. It was like some type of sports thing. And that list was all over the place. They had LeBron James number one. I could get with that. You know, like I said, LeBron has an argument. You know, some people believe he's the best player ever. That's fine. Michael's mine. LeBron second. They had Steph Curry third. Like, Steph Curry was that like, whoa. Then they had Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is great, but he's not on my top 10 list. They had Shaq fourth. I think that's why he commented. I think Shaq was like fourth. Kobe wasn't on the list at all, which is nuts to me as well. I think they had Bird. They had pretty much everybody else. I agree with Bird. They had Wilt Chamberlain on there, even though Wilt. Yeah, I think Wilt's on my list at the bottom, like ninth. Like, it's a top 10 list. By the way, Wilt was like ninth on that list. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. Sports fans probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I was like, wow, this list is crazy. Like, I wouldn't put the Rat in there yet. Now, both of them could be. Like, Steph, let's just say he won another title. He's already all-time leader, three-point shooter. You might have to put him on there. Shaq is 10th on my list. Yeah, Steph might have to go on there if he keep going where he's going. Durant, I think he's a great player, but definitely one of the best players today. But I think just, like I said, accolades matter. Like, he only got two titles. And I ain't gonna say how he got it. He got 2 titles. I ain't gonna take that away from him. You know, I was about to say, you know, because he joined the Warriors, but forget that. You know, he got 2 championships. I think he would have to win more titles. That would help, but he would have to be approach the all-time leading scorer list. He had to come up that list a little bit as well. Then he might get some consideration in the top 10 for me, anyway. But yeah, that was a weird list. All right, so let's check out the standings. Since we over here, we're up here, rambling. Sorry. Come on, phone. Oh, come on. Okay, Boston. When you're looking at these, Boston's the number 1. Brooklyn is past Milwaukee. They second. Bucks up there. Cleveland for Philly. Philly been playing well as well. They lost last night, but Sixers starting to turn around. Joel Embiid's been playing well as well. Knicks holding the 6th spot down. Indiana right there behind them. Miami, like I said, been playing better. They in the 8th spot. Chicago and Atlanta round out the top 10. Of course, the top 10 now have a chance at the playoffs. Then you got Washington, Toronto, Orlando. Like I said, Charlotte, even though they got a bad record, they've been playing better. I think they go to Clyde. I think they might make a push still to make the playoffs, at least the play-in. And Detroit in last with 11-30, already 20 games under. Denver right now, your number 1 team in the West, is bunched up. Denver is between them and Memphis. Memphis just a half game back. New Orleans lost last night, but they second. Third with 2 games back. Dallas 4th. That's where it start getting mucky here. Dallas 4 out. Then you got Sacramento. The Warriors just shot all the way up to 6. They've been playing a lot better too. I get no credit too. Losing Steph Curry. Jordan Poole has been outstanding. Draymond has still been Draymond. I've seen that Iguodala supposed to play soon. Then you got the Clippers, which were struggling a little bit. At Phoenix, 7-8. Blazers at 9th. Utah starting to come back down to earth, but still, for them to start the way they started, I commend them. But I think Minnesota, when they get it together, Cat is out. I didn't know Cat was out until I heard that he was out. Lakers, like I said, once they get Anthony Davis back, they go because I like OKC as well. I just like the way they play. They're young. I think next year they're going to be a good team. Spurs started off hot, but they fell completely off the mat, and they got Houston at 10-29. But yeah, OKC, I like what they doing there. They know how to draft young guys. They hit the draft well. As you could go back to even Durant, Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, James Harden. All those guys was on the same team. Imagine all those guys was on the same team now at their max, at their primes. Who knows what the Thunder could have done. But they get criticized because they say that they really don't. They just want to contend. They don't really, of course they would want to win a championship, but that's not their one-on-one goal. They just want to be in contention because they're the only thing in town, so they take advantage of that aspect that they don't have to. If they just semi-good, they're going to get a crowd because there's no other professional teams, or anything else to do in Oklahoma, by the way. So what I heard, don't get on me, Oklahoma people. Somebody from Oklahoma watching this, never been there, so I'm just going off what somebody else said. That's all. Alright, so that's our NBA news for the week. Let's move on to the NFL. Of course, everybody know what happened Monday night. Young man, I can say young man, I don't get older. I'll be 40 before I know it. I'll be 40 this year, y'all. But Damar Hamlin is only 24 years old. That's why I say young man. Very, very scary what happened this week. I'll tell my quick little story because I always like to, always be like, where was you when something happened with this and that? I actually was in the shower. I just finished up work. So once I finish up work, I come upstairs, try to relax, chill out. Even though I still technically working, but all my guys here be in the bed. So turned the game on. We just started. I think it was 7-3 Cincinnati, which the score wound up being before they stopped the game. I think Buffalo had the ball, so I think probably let's say I I think Buffalo had the ball. I think I went ahead, went in the bathroom, took my shower, came out, and the game was stopped, and all this other stuff was going on. See the players, reacting. So I was like, dang, this had to be a terrible injury. I just thought it was a regular NFL injury, like a concussion, or maybe somebody lost feeling in, lost feeling in their body for a second, or somebody was knocked out. I would have never thought somebody need to be basically brought back to life on the field. And basically had a heart attack, and they said it was the hit, like the hit that it took. It's like he don't have no heart problems or anything. Like, I didn't hear any of that stuff. I just think he got hit a certain way, and that happened. So I called one of my he's one of my residents here, but he also a friend of mine. I know he was watching. I called him, I asked, like, what happened? Why the game stopped? Going on, and he told me. I was like, wow, like, I never heard that happening before, at all, like in any sport. I know people have fell out at practice, in the summertime, some of the deaths you see there, or like even in other sports, it's never no CPR done on nobody, so it was a real scary moment. You could tell how the players was, that this was a serious thing. Days start coming out, then I was like, wow, he basically almost lost his life almost, which is obvious. Let's get into the I'm just going to give my statement, I guess. Some people have been upset, Now, I'm not going to fly. This was my first thought, because I didn't really know the extent of the injury. I was like, wow, I knew for them just stopping the game, I knew it was serious. But at the same time, like, I was like, dang, I really would. It was a big game. Everybody was looking forward to this game, for at least the next couple of weeks. How Cincinnati been playing, Buffalo, of course, with the aspirations they had for this season. So I did feel a little disappointment. Even when they canceled the game, I was like, dang, I wish I could have played this game. And, now you heard the news that they're not going to make it up. We're going to give into details of that. But, I think people need to just relax a little bit with somebody sort of. I always use those specific people, because I'm sure as people probably said worse things than that, but they're not famous. So I'm not going to even go to what famous people said, even though people been getting rolled all week by certain words that they chose, or what they said or didn't say. Now, me personally, like I said, I think they did the right thing by stopping the game, because as soon as I heard about the CPR, I was like, oh no, they're not, it's no way. And then just how the players just looked, like you could just tell there was just something just different from this. I was like, there's no way they're gonna get this game in, and they wound up canceling the game. But I thought the NFL was gonna try to get this game in, because how important it was. And it's not important, like, and some people get mad at you when you say that. The game isn't, like, according to the NFL, well, like I said, according to the NFL, how things are shaping up the season, that was a huge game. Like, now, things have changed. Like, Kansas City, this helps Kansas City out, because now all they gotta do is win today, and they the 1 seed. They get that bye. Now, I think if they wind up beating, depends on what happens, they wind up beating Cincinnati or Buffalo, it's a neutral site. Like, if they wind up making it to the NFC Championship game and playing one of those teams, it'd be a neutral site, which I think is fair. So I think the NFL did a good job managing everything. We're going to try to break down those details in a second. But I want to get away from Damar Hamlin, because that's what I really want to talk about. He's responsive. He talked to the team yesterday via Zoom. But what I was about to say was, don't be too harsh on the people. It was a big game. I think you got the right to say this was a big game. Not saying that the game is bigger than his life, because it's not. Like, I think that's obvious. That of course you don't want to see this young man lose his life, and I'm grateful that he made it. Because if he would have not made it, first of all, I didn't go say that. But it just would have changed a lot of stuff. The NFL would probably be, like, I think somebody threw that theory out there, the NFL probably would be on its way out, done, because I don't think they could have I don't think they could have recovered from that. I think it was slowly the NFL probably would have. It's some big changes, man. I just know that. So, and I'm speaking to that just on reality. I'm not speaking as a fan, because I love the NFL. I'm not gonna sit here in front. I love football. I wanted this game to happen, but it didn't. Maybe we'll see this game in the AFC Championship or sooner, because I think it could be Buffalo, could be 2, it could be 3, Cincinnati could be 3, so they could meet in the divisional round. But anyway, yeah, I don't think nobody really mean that. At least, like I said, I think some people. I think it's the timing. Just the timing. Like, people was in the moment saying these things, and I try not to be so critical on that either, but yeah, it was just, I think people just had bad timing. I don't think people don't have no intentions wanted this man to lose his life. I hope not. I don't know what's in nobody's heart, but but once everything I heard the details, like, yeah, it's no way they could take this game, and they didn't. I think the NFL did what they could, because even the NFL was getting criticized when they was trying to get the game in that night. I say this is just a general statement. Like, life moves on, bro, without you, with or without you. Like, unfortunately, this happened to Damar, but it's like this week. I thought this is what I thought they was going to. I thought they was going to cancel these all. I thought they was going to cancel the whole schedule. Which I'm glad they didn't. But I thought they was going to cancel this. So I thought they was going to push everything forward a week back. That's what I thought they was going to. I thought they was going to have Buffalo and Cincinnati play this week by themselves, probably on Monday again. Play, then do week 18 after, that week. Push week 18 back for another week. And the playoffs and everything, and probably just eliminate the Pro Bowl or something like that. Or somebody said maybe they could have played week 18 this week and then had Buffalo and Cincinnati play next week and not had a wild card until the week after. That was an idea as well that I heard that was out there. But the NFL just decided not to play the game at all. And we're going to look at these scenarios right now. But I'm happy Damar is back. He got his breathing tube out, like I said. He's been talking to the team, his family. I know that was a scary moment for his family, man. But his family, they seemed like they was, they was more calmer than most people, as far as at least not in the public eye. They didn't seem worried, too worried. They seemed calm, and I'm glad about that as well. But I'm glad this young man is doing well. Of course, there's no way he's going to play the rest of this season. And I honestly think, I already had the Bills go to the Super Bowl. Now my NFC pick is gone. Like, the Rams, they eliminated. They ain't going nowhere. They out the playoffs or whatever. In the NFC right now, I might have to think about that. But actually, one of these nights I announce it. I'm going to do a special playoff preview special. So I have all my predictions. Then, but I already had the Bills. I ain't going away from that. I'm picking the Bills and make it in the NFC. But I think this almost going to guarantee it. I think the Bills is about to go on a roll. I think they're going to play a spy football. I think it's going to start tomorrow with New England. Because they still have a chance at the bye. Depends on if Kansas City wins or not. But they still got something to play for tomorrow anyway, even if Kansas City wins. I think they about to go on a roll. I really do. So let's look at this article where it sort of breaks down the scenarios here. Like I said, it affects the Bengals and the Ravens as well, because they could be flipping a coin to see if they play next week where their game would be. Because Cincinnati wound up winning the North because with the less game, so the Ravens can't catch them even if they beat them tomorrow. So this is so Buffalo still has something to play for. If both teams lose or win, if they meet in the AFC Championship game, it'll be a neutral site. Even though Buffalo beat Kansas City this year, so this benefits Kansas City either way. Now, if they both lose and Cincinnati wins, a Bills or Bengals should be a neutral. So Cincinnati can still fight for the neutral site as well. But if they, let's just say they would have played that game and they would have won and beat Buffalo, and they all three would have tied this week, they would have got home field. So this helps. Like I said, this benefits Kansas City. But like, no matter what, they're going to either play them at a neutral site or they're going to play them in Kansas City. It's like they're not going to Buffalo or Cincinnati. Like, that's out. So this helps Kansas City a lot. As far as the Ravens, like I said, me being a Ravens fan, I think this is somewhat fair. It's weird, but it's fair. Let's just say the Ravens, if the Ravens win tomorrow, beat Cincinnati tomorrow, and then they wind up meeting in the first round, which probably would be, because if the Chargers win, the Ravens will still be in that 6th spot, which they are now. If the Ravens win and the Chargers lose, then the Ravens will up to 5, and they will go to Jacksonville or Tennessee, whoever win that game tonight for the AFC South. And we're about to do our picks in a moment. So that's basically what it is. The owners voted on it. Cincinnati didn't like it because I think that really pretty much hurt them as far as the home field. But it helps them win the division, but basically they're going to have home field throughout the playoffs. So okay, so now we're going to pull up the games. We're going to do our picks real quick. Do our picks, and then we're going to look at the playoff scenarios as well. Well, current standings, and look at other playoff scenarios for other teams, like at NFC, Lions, Packers. That's a big game Sunday night. Okay, we have 3 right here. Okay. Alright, you know, I got my big 5 games, so those are the games I'm going to expound on a little bit more. Okay, 2 games today. 2 big games. Like I just said, Chiefs in Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Raiders could play spoiler and maybe put a monkey wrench in the Chiefs' chances for home field. Jarrett Stidham looked good for the Raiders last week, but I still think the Chiefs are going to win this game somehow. They always find a way. Raiders always find a way to lose. I think that'll happen again today. I think the Chiefs will go on and win that game. That's a 4:30 kickoff today. And the night game tonight, AFC South title game basically. Titans at the Jags. Winner will win the AFC South and get the 4th seed. Loser will go home. I like the Jags in this game because they're at home. Jaguars are playing really good football of late. I think that carries over. The Titans been sort of sinking. No Ryan Tannehill. I think the only way the Titans win if Derrick Henry plays, because he's been nicked up as well. If he plays, they just have a monster game, like 200 yards, one of those type of 150-yard games, something like that. They're going to go with Joshua Dobbs to start tonight. I think the Jags, though, win that game. That's on my big 5 as well. Jags could be a dangerous team in the playoffs. Anybody agree with that? I think they could be. I think whoever that 5, well, I think that's the match. I think it's going to wind up being the Chargers and the Jags, and we'll talk about that when it's finalized. But I think it's going to wind up being those two. I think the winner of that game could be a monkey, could challenge, even if it's Kansas City or whoever that 1 seed would be. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think the winner of that game could really throw a wrench into the AFC. Other than the top teams, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Kansas City, they're the top 3 teams clearly. But I think the winner of that game, if it's Jags, Chargers, and we'll talk more about it, I think they could mess some things up there. But I think the Jags will win tonight. They 6.5 favorites for good reason. I think the Titans still got too many injuries. But I think the Titans are still a good football team. I think they should keep Mike Vrabel, let them keep building. I think they need to look for another quarterback, though. I think Ryan Tannehill has a ceiling. I think they should know that and try to find another quarterback next year. But I'm going to go with the Jags to win and win the AFC South tonight. Move over to Sunday. Ravens at Bengals. That made my big 5 games as well, just for the significance. Like I said, I just explained it. If the Ravens win this game, And Cincinnati wound up being the 3, which was more likely that's what it's going to be. Because even if Buffalo loses or Kansas City loses, it's basically a guarantee that they go with 3. The Ravens not guaranteed 6. They could move up to 5 if they win, if the Chargers lose. But if that happened, basically if they play next week, it would be a coin flip to see where the game would be. So the game could be here in Baltimore next week, despite the seedings, because the Ravens had a chance to win the division, but since they canceled the game with Buffalo and Cincinnati, the Bengals did win the division. But to make it fair for the Ravens, they're going to flip it by coin. So that's still a 50-50 chance. So it can still be all that and still be a Cincinnati. But you got a chance. You got a chance to have a home game. So, but I don't think the Ravens going to win this game. I picked them on my pool because I'm just a Ravens fan. I picked them, but I just don't see it. I think, like I said, I like Tyler Huntley, but he's just not it, man. He's not Lamar. Another thing I don't like as a Ravens fan, I keep hearing the rumors about Lamar is done. He's done being a Raven and all that. So he might be missing, basically just taking it easy on purpose, because they give him his contract. I think if that's true, I think he's 1 foot out the door. Unfortunately, Ravens fans, I really believe that. I told them they should have paid him in the summer, got it over with. But they dragged this out. Who else you gonna go to? Who else you gonna go to? So I don't know the Ravens doing here. I think they play with fire here. I think Lamar could be gone. So I wouldn't be shocked if he is. So if that's true, he's 1 foot out the door, definitely. Because he's a competitor, so I know he'll want to play. So and that's like I said this in the preseason. He ain't gonna play the preseason because of the contract, and he didn't. I think it was more that he didn't want to play. I think that he would have played if he wanted to. I don't think it was the Ravens sitting him out on purpose. So there's something to watch out for, but I don't feel good about that situation, and I don't feel good about this game. I'm picking the Ravens, but I don't think they go win this game. I don't. I think Cincinnati go win this game. Buccaneers, Falcons. Then we'll go with the Bucs here. Atlanta, 1 foot out the door. Now Atlanta is favorite. Now this week is good to look at the spread because you can kind of tell what's going on. Maybe Tampa might not play their starters the whole game. Maybe that's why Atlanta's favorite. Tampa can't move up or down. They basically just a meaningless game. They stuck in the 4th spot, so they can't move up and they can't go down because they won a division. So maybe that's why they give Atlanta a 4-point edge here. But I still think the Buccaneers could have. Well, Todd Bowles came out and said they was going to play their starters, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go with Tampa to win the game. Another Big 5 game, Patriots versus Bills. Just mentioned how the Bills going to be motivated. I think they win this game easily. Bills are 7-point favorites anyway. Patriots 8-8, but you just feel like they just feel a lot of negative vibes coming out of there with Mac Jones, his up and down play. Now there's rumors about Belichick and all this other stuff. The Patriots not used to all the outside stuff. And like I said, I think the Bills are going to play their hearts out this game. I would be shocked if they lose this game. So I would go with the Bills easily. They can win the 1 seed. If Kansas City loses, well, they can at least fight for the neutral site if Kansas City loses. So there's still to be a meaningful game for Buffalo. But they can move down to 3rd because they in front of Cincinnati as well. So we'll see how that turns out. But I think the Bills are going to dominate this game. 7 points. I think it might be more than that. I think they're going to come out and probably play their best game of the year, I believe. And they at home as well, so that crowd is going. How the Bills fans are. The Bills, some people irritated with the Bills fans, but they fans show up. Now they're going to be there. That crowd is going to be going crazy. I got a feeling they're going to probably show them all on the screen. It's going to be something. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great atmosphere in Buffalo, New York, at Orchard Park. And I think the Bills would have ride that and probably destroy. Like I said, I'd be surprised if this game is close. I think the Bills win big in this game, and the Patriots are fighting for a playoff spot. If they lose, I think they still get back in because they got the, they got the inside track. But I think if they lose and Miami win, Miami get the last spot. So there's a lot on the line for New England. Let's move on. Vikings, Bears. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. Vikings, I'm starting to see the light. I still respect the Vikings. I still think the Vikings can do something. I want to see how they play in the postseason. I think they still could get can they get the 1 seed? I don't think they can get the 1 seed because Philadelphia is, so they can't get the 1. They think they can get the 2 if San Francisco loses. But I think right now they're third, but we're going to look at the playoff standings. Bears, like I said, it seems like they packed it in. They're going to have to make some big changes in the offseason to help Justin Fields, or not, they're going to waste this young man's career. I thought the Bears would be way better this year. They traded away everybody. They pretty much gave up on the season weeks ago, and it shows on the field. I think the Vikings should win this game fairly easily as well. Texans at Colts. This is, to me, it's a coin flip. I'm gonna go with the Colts just because they're a little bit of a better team, but it would shock me if the Texans win this game. The Texans been playing hard. It's right through the 2-13 and 1. Actually, these two teams tied. What was it? Week 1. Back in week 1, so it's their second meeting. Wouldn't be surprised if the Texans win this game. They just play hard. Colts. Jeff Saturday, at least so far, seems like he's over his head. So maybe they'll be better next year. I'm gonna go with the Colts though, just because they're a slightly better team. But it would shock me if Houston win this game. Jets Dolphins. I almost made it on my Big 5 list, but it didn't. Miami been struggling big time. But I think they go with this game. They just go back to Joe Flacco. So there's always a chance to win that game. But they would need help. They would need New England to lose, which might happen. So basically, I think Miami will going to back into the playoffs and get in by winning this game and having New England lose. Panthers Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints. Saints just up and down. It's like once I start believing in the Saints again, they just stick me stick me on the side, man. Carolina, like again, a team that's fighting. I think the Saints are just playing a little bit better right now. I think they win this game at home. Browns at Steelers. This got some playoff implications on it. Steelers can still make it. They need to win. They need New England and Miami to lose. They need both of those teams to lose. So a lot gotta happen. But I think the Steelers will win this game. But the Browns been playing good football. I think this is gonna be a good game, a good close game. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers pull it out. I think their defense, T.J. Watt, looking like the defensive player of the year, even though he's not gonna win it this year. They didn't play enough. But I think the Steelers make a statement. I think they win, and then we'll be holding their breath and hope that they back into the playoffs. Jump into the playoffs, I should say. Chargers Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Chargers here. I think the Chargers will keep riding their momentum. All the injuries they had this year, and then still to be here at 10-6 is amazing. Broncos, they're done. Like I said, even though Russell Wilson has been playing better since they let go. Last week he played good, but they fired Hackett, the coach. So was it him? At least so far, that's the indication. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers to win. I think it'll be close though, because it's always hard to go up there and Denver and win. So they gotta be close. Denver actually a 3-point favorite. So I wonder if the Chargers. See, that's why I'm looking at these spreads. Is the Chargers gonna sit there, guys, and try to just get ready for next week, which might be possible because I don't think they care who they play. Do you rather play Jacksonville or Tennessee? That might be the easier path. If you win, you got that matchup. Or will you rather just take one of the big dogs down now, Cincinnati, Buffalo, or Kansas? Well, I don't think Kansas City could go fall to 3. So it'd be the Buffalo or Cincinnati in that second spot, fall to 6. In that third spot, I mean. So that'd be interesting to see what they do. But the spread telling me that they might not play people tomorrow. Eagles at Giants. Giants are pretty much meaningless game for them. They can't move up, they can't move down. They stuck at the fifth. They stuck at the sixth spot. I'm sorry, because they can't catch Dallas. So they in the sixth spot, and then who's behind them? Green Bay or Detroit ain't gonna catch them either because of that tie. So they stuck in the sixth spot. So we'll see what they do. They might rest, which will give the Eagles the one track to win the conference, well, the home field advantage, I should say. So they 14-point favorites, so it's looking like they're not gonna. Giants are just gonna concede this game. So the Eagles should get the 1 seed. Jalen Hurts to play. That's why I put this game on the list. We'll see how he look. Gardner Minshew didn't play bad, but still no wins to show for it. So we'll see how Hurts come back into the lineup. They want to get him feet wet, and then if they win the game, of course they get the bye. So they probably looking at it that way, get him some playing time before the bye. I think the Eagles will win. 14 points though, still too big, especially if the Giants play they starters. Cardinals, 49ers, Niners been rolling. I think they're going to continue to roll. I think they win this game big. Cardinals, of course, no Kyler Murray. So, I think what's right wind up happening is 49ers feel like they got the game won. That's when they might rest their starters. Niners can still, I think they still could get the 1 seed, I believe. So, they're going to go for it. So, we'll see. But I think the Niners will win. 14.5 sounds about right, just because Cardinals are beat up. Rams, Seahawks. Gotta get going now because I'm almost at my limit. Seahawks, if they win, they in, and I think they will. Unfortunately, well, if they win, no, they gotta wait for Green Bay to lose. But if they win, that would eliminate Detroit. And I think they will win this game and be sitting on their hands for Sunday night. Cowboys, Commanders. Cowboys still got an outside chance for the 1 seed. I don't think it's going to happen because I think Philadelphia's going to win. But I think Dallas want to look sharp going into that next week game. They will get who is in the 4th spot? We'll look at it in a second. Tampa. So it'll be Tampa and Dallas. Like that, pretty much that's been the writing on the wall for weeks. So they're going to get that game. I think they will look sharp. So I think they're going to come out playing well. I think they beat Washington. Washington go with a rookie quarterback as well. So I don't see Dallas losing this game. And the game Sunday night for a playoff spot. Lions at Packers. Packers win, they're in. They will eliminate Seattle. Seattle eliminate themselves if they lose. Lions win. They gotta hope Seattle lose first, and they will know that. So basically, we'll know what's going on by the time this game starts. But it don't matter. Green Bay knows if they win, they in the playoffs, regardless if Seattle wins or not. The Lions do need Seattle to lose for them to get the tiebreaker. So unfortunately, I don't think Detroit gonna make the playoffs, regardless. And I don't think they're gonna win this game either. This game was a hard one to pick. I just think Aaron Rodgers has proven, well, against the Lions. I want to say lately, because like I said, his playoffs play ain't been great lately. But I just think when it comes to the division, he's in their head. He's in Minnesota's head. He's in Detroit's head for sure, and Chicago. So I think he's gonna wear. I think that's gonna come out. Shout out to Jared Goff again. Like I said, I've been real critical of Jared Goff over the years. But he's had a monster year, so regardless if they lose or not, tip your hat to him. I think he deserves to start in Detroit, moving forward with him. I think he's proved that this year. Detroit got a running game. It's just the defense that scares me. I think that's what's going to hurt them in this game tonight. I think Green Bay wins and will claim that last spot in the playoffs. So, all right, so let's quickly go through this playoff scenario. I'm running out of time. As I just pretty much broke down playoffs, so we don't got a lot of time left, and I want to get my thoughts on TCU Georgia, which is Monday night. Like I said, Kansas City wins, they get the 1 seed. We just know that by today. Like I said, all the neutral site scenarios, Cincinnati, Buffalo, have a chance at it as well, but it'll be neutral site. So Kansas City has the track on the 1 seed, but it don't mean as much if they wind up beating Buffalo or Cincinnati. It could be neutral site games. Go read up on that. Go through that again. Jaguars right now is the 4th spot for the South, but if they lose, that would be Tennessee's spot. Chargers and Ravens I already mentioned. Ravens could move up to 5 if the Chargers lose, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But if that's especially if they beat Cincinnati next week, like I said, it would be a coin flip to determine home field. But they gotta win the game first in Cincinnati tomorrow, which I think is gonna be a tall task. Right now, New England in that last spot, but if New England win, they in the playoffs. That's when they end for them. Miami needs help. They need New England to win. To lose, and they win, and they get it. Now Pittsburgh need a little bit more. They need both Miami and New England to lose, and they win. And I think all these games is in the 1 o'clock window, so they would know. Everybody else eliminated, of course, in the AFC. Tennessee, like I said, will be playing for the AFC South against the Jags. Eagles win, and they the 1 seed. Niners is the 2 seed right now. Minnesota is the 3. So Minnesota can move up past San Francisco if they win and San Francisco loses. But they can't get the 1 overall seed because Philadelphia is a tiebreaker. I think the Niners could still get the 1. So they have a lot to play for. Tampa, like I said, they stuck in that 4th spot. They can't move up or down. Dallas could get the 1 seed, but needs some help. Giants are right there at 6. They can't move. Seattle right now they are the 7th seed, but if Green Bay wins, the tiebreakers go into their favor, and they will be in the playoffs. Detroit needs help. They gotta win and hope Seattle lose as well. Seattle also needs help, even though they right now the 7th seed. They will win and then need Detroit to beat Green Bay for them to make the playoffs, and everybody else is eliminated. So that's that. Just a quick final thoughts. I don't got a lot of time left. It was a big show today. Had a lot of stuff to cover. College football playoff final Monday night. I've got the Georgia proved it all year, but I think TCU will challenge them. They proved me wrong with that big win over Michigan. Speaking of Michigan, with Jim Harbaugh, NFL teams are starting to call him. Will he leave Michigan or will he stay? I think I've just seen there's some allegations or something going on. So if that's the case, he might wind up leaving. So you don't have to deal with the allegations or whatever violations and stuff. So he might leave. Quick thoughts on the channel. I'm not going to be doing no videos today. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to try to take a nap. I'm tired. But I'm going to try to get on the grind next week. Like I said, I could be losing my internet service, so if that's the case, I have to take a break for a while until I get it back. I should be able to get it back, within this month, though. So it ain't going to be no long months and months. It's not going to be that this time. But like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, check out my community channel on YouTube. Check out my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All of that is in my description of the channel. And I'm going to have to get out of here. I'm sorry for rushing. Like I said, I only got about a minute. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Another Solid Sports video vlog in the books. I'm going to post something on social media to let you know they got the videos posted. It should post in the 10 o'clock hour. I'm Troy West said thank you so much. Enjoy the football. 2 games today and big games tomorrow as well. I'm Troy West said thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you.